Good morning, my dear. Welcome to a brand new day of your beautiful life. And welcome to this gentle space where we remember that your mind is not your enemy. It is simply a garden that has been left on automatic for too long. I want you to imagine, just for these few minutes with me, that your morning is not a rush to catch up, but a sacred time in the control room of your brain, where you get to decide which switches are on and which switches are off. You don't have to fix your whole life in one day. You don't have to heal every wound before breakfast. You don't have to solve every problem in the next 30 minutes. You only need to choose a different switch this morning. That is all. So take a deep breath with me now, in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. And as you breathe, allow your shoulders to drop just a little bit and let your jaw soften. And feel your body beginning to understand that it is safe here. This is our quiet little moment, just you and me. And we are going to begin with a very powerful inner movement, the gentle art of letting go. When I talk about letting go, I am not asking you to throw away your life or your dreams or the people you care about. I am asking you to notice where you are gripping so tightly that you can no longer breathe. You came into this world with empty hands. And one day you will leave it with empty hands. And everything in between is an experience you pass through, not something you own forever. The problem is not that you love, or that you care, or that you have desires and plans. The problem is when the desire owns you, when the plan owns you, when the fear of losing someone or something owns you so completely that your whole nervous system is in prison. It is not love that hurts you. It is the tight, fearful attachment around love that hurts you. So this morning, before your day runs away with you, I want us to flip the first switch together, the switch of letting go so you can be lighter. I'd like you to gently scan your mind and ask yourself, where am I clenched today? Is it around a person you are afraid of losing, constantly checking your phone to see if they have written? Is it around money, that tight knot in your stomach every time you think of bills or numbers? Is it around an image, a reputation, a role you must play so that others will say, you are good, you are important, you are worthy? Just notice that one place where your mind says, if this changes, I will not be okay. That is where attachment is collecting its interest in anxiety. Attachment always charges interest in the currency of worry. You see, owning something is neutral. It can be a joy, it can be a tool, it can be a blessing. Clinging to it with terror is what creates the pain. I want you to hear this very clearly. Nothing outside of you was designed to be your oxygen. People can be wonderful companions. Money can be a beautiful servant. Plans can be helpful maps. But your breath, your worth, your safety do not live there. So this morning, as you sit or stand wherever you are, choose one thing you know you have been holding too tightly. Just one. Put a gentle spotlight on it in your mind. And then, softly, like you are talking to a dear friend, say inside yourself, I allow myself to be just 10% lighter around this today. Not perfect, not enlightened, not totally detached, just 10% lighter. Can you feel how kind that is? I am not asking you to drop everything. I am asking you to loosen your grip enough for peace to slip in. Take another slow breath with me now, and as you breathe out, imagine your hands opening just a little, even if it is only in your imagination. You don't have to know how to let go completely. You only have to be willing. I am willing to release the need to control this. Say that with me, gently, 3 times in your heart. I am willing to release the need to control this. I am willing to release the need to control this. I am willing to release the need to control this. Notice what happens in your body when you say that. Perhaps the chest feels a little softer. Perhaps the throat is less tight. Perhaps nothing much seems to change yet, and that is all right too. Sometimes the mind needs to hear a new truth many times before it believes it. Sometimes the body carries an old story for years, and we are only now beginning to write a kinder one. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is choosing your peace over your panic. Letting go is saying, I trust life enough to loosen my fists. When you do this each morning, even for 1 minute, you are rewiring your brain out of the old survival pattern that says, if I don't cling, I will die, and into a new pattern that whispers, if I soften, I can actually live. Remember, you are the only thinker in your mind, and every morning you are training that thinker to either tighten or to relax. Today, we are choosing relaxation. We are choosing trust. We are choosing to be just a little bit freer than yesterday. Now, from this slightly lighter place, I want to take you into the second switch for the morning, a very powerful one that I love. The switch of private victory. So many people wake up and immediately hand their sense of self over to the world. Before they even brush their teeth, they are checking messages, checking likes, checking news, checking what everybody else is saying about everything. And then they wonder, why do I feel so scattered, so anxious, so behind? My dear, if the first voice you hear in the morning is the world's noise, you never get to hear your own wisdom. This is why I like to talk about private victories, the tiny, quiet wins that nobody sees, that nobody applauds, but that build a deep, steady strength inside you. You do not need an audience to be valuable. You do not need applause to be progressing. In fact, when we rush to show our progress too soon, to tell everyone our plan, our new habit, our next move, we often become addicted to their reaction instead of committed to our own growth. Have you noticed that? You tell someone your idea, they don't respond the way you wished, and suddenly your energy collapses as if they have more power over your path than you do. This morning, I want us to play a different game. Instead of asking, who will notice me, I want you to ask, who do I become when no one is watching? That is where your real power lives. A private victory can be so simple, putting away your phone and doing 20 minutes of quiet, focused work on something that matters to you. It might be writing a page, reading a nourishing passage, stretching your body, planning your day with intention, or taking a small step on a project that has been calling your name. The key is that you do it in silence, without announcing it, without needing anyone's approval. Before the world gets a chance to tell you who you are, you quietly act like the person you want to be. What you practice in private shapes who you are in public. Every time you give yourself those 20 minutes of silent, focused attention, you are telling your brain, my inner world comes first. My peace, my focus, my growth are important. And do you know what happens when your brain hears that message day after day? It stops chasing so hard after distractions. It stops needing so much noise to feel alive. It begins to settle, to steady, to trust you. So tomorrow morning, or even better, the very next morning you wake up after listening to this, I would love for you to give yourself a gift. 20 minutes of silent work before you touch the online world. Not 20 minutes of perfection, just 20 minutes of presence. Tell yourself, for these 20 minutes, I will be with me. I will do one important thing quietly. It might feel unusual at first. You might feel the itch to check something, to share something, to see if anyone needs you. When that urge arises, smile at it and say, I see you, old habit. Today I am choosing a private victory. You do not have to rush to prove that you are doing something. You only have to actually do it. In this way, every morning becomes a gentle rewiring, from seeking validation to building inner validation, from chasing noise to cultivating focus, from living on display to living from the inside out. The world might never know that you sat down and gave yourself those 20 quiet minutes, but your nervous system will know, your heart will know, your future will know, and that is enough. As you let go a little, and as you give yourself these small private victories, you are turning on two of the most powerful switches in your mind, freedom and self-respect. You are teaching your brain, we do not have to cling, and we do not have to perform. We are safe, and we are serious about our own healing. What you put your attention on grows. So when you place your morning attention on lightness and quiet progress, you grow more lightness, you grow more progress. You may not see the results in one day or even in 1 week, but if you keep choosing these switches each morning, your life will begin to feel different from the inside. There will be more space, more calm, more strength that does not depend on circumstances. And I want you to remember, as you move into the rest of your day, you are not behind, you are not broken, you are learning a new way to begin. And that, my dear, is a beautiful thing. Let me share something simple and powerful with you. Something I've seen over and over again in people who heal and people who stay stuck. The ones who heal learn to speak to themselves in the morning as if they are someone worth listening to. Most of us wake up and immediately let yesterday's fears and years of conditioning rush in. And those old voices begin to declare over us, you are not enough. You are late. You are behind. You are too much. You are alone. And if no one teaches us otherwise, we believe those declarations without even noticing. So I want you to imagine that the morning is the one time of day when your mind is most open, like soft clay, like a small child asking, who am I today? What are we doing? And you have the chance to answer. You are the only thinker in your mind. and the declarations you make in the morning are the instructions your day will follow. Instead of letting the old chatter give all the commands, I want you to practice giving loving, clear, simple instructions. Not complicated paragraphs, not 100 affirmations you don't mean. Just one true sentence that feels like a gentle yes inside your body. Something like, "Today I choose peace," or "I am someone who keeps my promises to myself," or "I am worthy of being treated kindly, especially by me." Notice how each of these begins with choice or identity. Today I choose. I am worthy. We are not waiting for the mood to be perfect. We are telling the mind who we are becoming, and the mind, like a faithful servant, begins to look for ways to prove it right. This is a very simple little practice, but it can rewire years of inner criticism. In the morning, before you dive into all the noise, I'd like you to write one "I am" sentence. Somewhere you can see it on a scrap of paper by your bed, in the notes on your phone, on the bathroom mirror. Just one sentence. Then stand or sit with it, put one hand on your heart, and read it out loud 3 times, slowly, like you mean it. The first time, your mind may argue, "No, that's not true. You've failed too many times." The second time, the resistance might soften just a little, the way ice begins to melt when the sun touches it. The third time, your nervous system begins to taste the possibility of a new truth. We don't force belief. We offer the mind a kinder option, and we repeat it with love. If you feel silly, that's all right. If you feel nothing, that's all right. If you feel tears rise, that's all right too. All of it is part of the rewiring. You can even add my favorite little phrase, "I am willing," in front of it if it feels too big. I am willing to be someone who keeps my promises to myself. I am willing to choose peace. I am willing to treat myself with kindness. The subconscious mind hears willingness as an open door. And each morning you say that one sentence, you step through the door just a little further. Thoughts are only words. You choose what they mean. Now, let's talk about a switch that most people forget because they were never taught it. The switch of taking care of yourself first, not as a selfish luxury, but as the foundation of healing. My dear, you cannot be calm, wise, and loving if you are running on empty. And so many of us have been trying to be good, trying to be helpful, trying to be successful while walking around like a nearly empty battery. When the body is depleted, the mind will live in constant reaction, snapping, worrying, overthinking, trying to control. That is not because you are a bad person. It is because you are tired. You can't pour from an empty pitcher, and you cannot keep abandoning your own needs and expect your nervous system to feel safe. I want you to begin to see self-care not as a reward you get after you've suffered enough, but as a daily way of saying to yourself, "I matter. My well-being is important. I am not an afterthought in my own life." People who love themselves are not perfect. They are simply consistent in small ways. They drink water, they seek light, they move their bodies, not because they have to be impressive, but because they know their body is their home. So, in the morning, Instead of rushing straight into fixing everyone else's emergencies, I want you to give yourself 3 tiny acts of care before the day takes you. Nothing dramatic. First, water. Drink a glass of water slowly, as if you are watering a precious plant because you are. Feel it moving through you, waking up your cells, telling your body, we are cared for. Second, light. Open a curtain, step onto a balcony, stand by a window. Let natural light touch your eyes and your skin, even if just for a minute, and silently say, I am alive. I am here. This is a new day. Third, movement. For just 2 minutes, stretch, walk around the room, roll your shoulders, gently twist your spine. Anything that reminds your body it is not a statue chained to yesterday. It might seem almost too small to matter, but tiny rituals repeated every morning are what tell your nervous system you are not invisible. You are worth tending to. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is self-respect. When you practice this, you will notice over time that you react less sharply, that you have just a little more patience, that you can breathe through stress instead of drowning in it. The more you treat yourself as someone worth caring for, the less you will tolerate environments, relationships, and habits that constantly drain you. Your outer life will slowly rearrange itself to match the new message you are sending. I am not a dumping ground. I am a beloved being. And now we come to a very tender and powerful switch. Remembering that your life is happening today, not someday, and that every morning you are given a mystery, another 24 hours, with no guarantee that you will always have them. I don't say this to frighten you. I say it to wake you gently. We love to plan 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, and there is nothing wrong with dreaming, nothing wrong with goals. But if all of your living is projected into a future that may never come, you miss the only place where peace is possible. This moment, this breath, this sunrise, this conversation. The only time you ever really have is now. When you quietly face the truth that you don't know how many mornings you have left, something beautiful can happen. Life becomes more precious, not more terrifying. You stop wasting quite so much energy on grudges that don't matter, on arguments that go nowhere, on tiny irritations that steal entire days. You begin to ask, if this was an important day, how would I live it? So each morning, just for a few seconds, I invite you to sit with this question gently, without drama. If today were a truly important day in my life, how would I show up for it? Not what would I buy, not how would I impress people, but how present would I be with the ones I love? How kindly would I speak to myself? What would I finally let go of? What would I finally begin? This is not meant to send you into a panic of doing. It is meant to bring you into the fullness of being. Perhaps on an important day, you would put your phone down a bit more and really look into someone's eyes. Perhaps you would say, I'm sorry, or I love you, or I forgive you where you have been silent. Perhaps you would give yourself permission to rest for an hour without guilt. Perhaps you would start that small step you keep postponing, not because the step is perfect, but because your heart has been asking for it. Preparing for the end actually teaches you how to truly live in the middle. Take a slow breath with me now, and as you breathe out, imagine all the little anxieties about tomorrow and next year sliding off your shoulders, just a little. You do not have to solve your whole future. You do not have to earn your right to exist today. All you need to do is meet this day with as much presence and kindness as you can, knowing that it is a gift and not a guarantee. You might even say to yourself in the morning, if tonight were the night I look back on this day, I want to feel that I lived with my heart awake. That doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. That doesn't mean you will be serene every minute. It simply means you are choosing to be here, to feel, to love, to try. When you remember that time is finite, love becomes urgent in the sweetest way. You hug a little longer, you listen a little deeper, you soften a little sooner, and the mind, which used to run wild into every imagined disaster, begins to learn a new habit, returning to the only place where you can choose your thoughts and your actions this very moment. So these 3 morning switches, declaring who you are, caring for yourself first, and living today as if it truly matters, may seem simple, but they are profound. Every time you choose one I am statement instead of an old insult, you are rewiring your brain. Every time you give yourself water, light, and movement, you are reassuring your nervous system. Every time you remember your mortality, not with fear but with tenderness, you are deepening your capacity to love. And love, my dear, is what all of this is about. You are safe to choose new thoughts. You are safe to treat yourself kindly. You are safe to live today with your heart fully present. As you practice these things morning after morning, you will notice that healing and peace are not distant mountains to climb. They are rooms inside you that you can enter a little more each day simply by how you begin. Sometimes when I sit with people, I notice they live at 2 extremes. Either they are way out in the future, trying to build a castle out of worry, or they are so lost in the tiny urgencies of the moment that they forget where they're going altogether. And I want to look at you as if we're sitting together at the kitchen table and say gently, my darling, you don't have to choose between vision and now. You can have both. A loving vision gives your life direction, but your present moment gives your feet the ground to stand on. If you only stare at the far horizon, you will feel small and overwhelmed. If you only stare at your toes, you will go in circles. So I'd like you to play with a very simple pattern in the morning, something your mind can understand and your heart can relax into. 1 sentence for your vision, 1 step for your now. 1 and 1. That's all. 1 sentence that says, this is the kind of life I am creating, and 1 small action that says, this is how I honor it today. You might say inside, I am building a peaceful, meaningful life. And then ask, what is 1 important thing I can give 25 focused minutes to right now? That might be a conversation you've been avoiding, a piece of work that really matters, a small act of care for your body, a step toward a dream. The vision is the compass. The action is the step. The compass without the step is just fantasy, and the step without the compass is just busy work. When you marry them each morning, You begin to feel both guided and grounded. Now, let's talk about something your brain absolutely loves and absolutely needs: repetition. Your old patterns did not appear because you thought a negative thought once. They appeared because you thought it again and again and again until a groove formed. So of course, when we want to install new patterns, we must be willing to walk the new path more than once. Repetition is not punishment. Repetition is how the mind learns. We are not trying to be perfect. We are trying to be consistent. It's all right if some mornings you feel radiant and some mornings you feel grumpy and doubtful. What matters is that you keep showing up for your practice in some small way, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. The nervous system does not rewire in one grand, dramatic morning. It rewires through many ordinary mornings where you quietly choose again. I like to say, if you miss a day, that's human. If you come back the next day, that's healing. You don't have to do this flawlessly. You just have to keep coming back with love. So if there is a day when you forget, or you oversleep, or you fall back into old habits, don't turn it into a court case against yourself. Take a breath, smile a little, and say, all right, we missed yesterday. Today we begin again. Missing one day is a blip. Missing 2 and 3 and 4 because you're shaming yourself becomes a pattern. Let's not feed the pattern. Let's feed the new pathway. Let's agree that your victory is not perfection. Your victory is returning. To help you with that, I want to offer you a very simple 7-minute morning flow you can follow, like a gentle template for your brain and your heart. You can even imagine my voice walking you through it until it becomes your own. First, for just half a minute, notice one thing you've been gripping: a person, an outcome, a fear, and softly say inside, I am willing to loosen my grip on this, even just a little. Then, for 1 minute, close your eyes if you can, and simply breathe in silence. In and out, letting the world wait for you instead of you always chasing the world. Next, choose one I am sentence. For today it can be different every day. Write it down or see it in your mind and speak it slowly 3 times. Then give your body a tiny bit of love. Drink some water, stretch your arms, roll your shoulders. Remind this beautiful body that it is not just a machine. After that, take a minute to remind yourself, this day is real. This is not a rehearsal. I am actually alive right now. And notice one small thing you're grateful to experience today. Then come back to our vision and now formula. 1 sentence about the life you are creating. 1 concrete step you can take today. Finally, return to that I am sentence and whisper it again, letting it sink just a little deeper, as if you were tucking it into the soft folds of your subconscious. This does not have to be dramatic or mystical. It is simply you training your mind to know who you are and where you are going, 1 morning at a time. Before we finish, I'd like you to stay with me and let these words wash through you as if they were warm water, and you can softly repeat them after me inside your own mind. I release what is no longer needed. You can say that as you picture an old habit, an old story, an old resentment melting away just a little. I am willing to work quietly and trust my own progress. Feel how that pulls your attention away from other people's opinions and back to your own path. I choose inner peace and inner strength. Let those two go together in you. Peace not as weakness, strength not as tension, but a calm, steady power. I take care of myself first with love and respect. Notice how that sentence sits in your body, perhaps a little unfamiliar, perhaps very relieving. I live fully in this present moment. Feel your breath, your hands, the room around you. This exact second of your life, I hold my vision and I take a strong, loving step today. See the horizon, feel the ground. And finally, I am consistent and my mind is being gently rewired for healing and peace. You don't have to force any of this. You don't have to prove any of it. Just allow these ideas to circle around you like friendly birds, coming closer each morning. You are not broken. You are being retrained. You are not behind. You are beginning. You are not alone in this. Life itself is supporting your new way of thinking. And as you keep showing up for these little morning switches, vision and step, care and presence, repetition and kindness, you will look back one day and realize that your mind feels like a quieter, kinder place to live. And that is one of the greatest gifts you can ever give yourself.